in the community that you've built up, is there any cohesiveness with regard to technology, or is it more the core value that brings everybody together is really just the desire to engage in open source? Sometimes, again, in between jobs, like you said. So is there a technology that binds it, or are the projects kind of all over the place?
It's just the concept of open source. We have projects in many technologies and programming languages, and the only term for a project to be in our community is that the maintainer is available and the project is active and getting pull requests. We have already projects that were in the community and then stopped to be maintained, or as a maintainer is not available, so we dropped them out. Yeah, I think it's very important that it's not only for one project. It's also kind of a problem that if you only have a community for a project, so if you're not connected to the project, you don't have any connection to open source. So in our community, if you like the concept of open source, you can be even not a contributor, but just helper for other people in the community, and you kind of contribute to open source. If someone tries to change something in a code and he doesn't understand, and someone can help him, even if it's not a project that he's very familiar with and kind of connected just to this project. So if you know programming and you have the time to help someone, maybe you can help him. And yeah, it's very helpful that it's kind of a atmosphere of open source, and not only for one project or technology, but a place to gather people together about this subject of open source.
When it comes to your community, like, do you have sessions to educate people about open source? Because it sounds like that you probably have people who are just learning about it. Is the community kind of a place where people can share knowledge, and that's kind of the main purpose, or is it a place where you connect people, like you connect the newcomers to maintainers and projects?
Well, I think it's two goals that you mentioned. It's also sharing knowledge and also connecting people. And I think it's working well together, because it's easier to share knowledge with people than just documentation and text that you don't have engagement with anyone. And it's also better to connect with people when you have a goal that you have together. So it's worked well. And also you remind me that we had in the past, I hope that we will have it again, but in such a community that is about volunteering, so always we have a lack of resources. So we had a volunteer for that in the past, but now we are looking for someone that will run it again. We had something we called open source parties, and it's just video meetings where people mostly with no background, but anyone is welcome. And we are speaking about open source, and the idea what we are doing is that anyone is welcome to introduce himself, and then the volunteer from the community tells him, and mostly tell everyone kind of the same thing. If you don't know anything, so you can contribute to the practice project that we have, that you only add text to a website and do it with fork and GitHub technique to contribute to open source. So you will have kind of basic experience to understand what is going on. And if you already know something like that, so what programming language do you know, and what project you can see in our community? So it's data that you can read all that in our website, but it's very different when you see someone face to face and it tells you that, and then you feel that, okay, and if I don't understand something, I can ask in this community and I'm welcome. Yeah, I really like these sessions of open source parties that we had. In the beginning, I did it, but eventually it really takes time. And someone replaced me, and after that he couldn't go on with that, so now we don't have it, but we still have a very active community. We have a WhatsApp group and Discord server, so and we have a physical meetup every month. So I hope also that we will get back to the open source parties, but even now, without it, the community is very welcoming.